Either bill me or I'll come in next
Yeah,
time.
they don't need to have that information sitting there.
Right. Next thing you know, you're gonna have multiple
I
bills
just
coming out.
noticed the last couple times that I've had to do that.
Good, say no.
Yeah, they should be able to bill you, or you should be able to pay when
Yes.
you come in for your visit.
Exactly.
Well, this is posted, you mentioned about on the village website for us?
I'm sorry, what?
Again, please?
Were you saying you're gonna post some of these things on the village website for us if wanted, or?
Yes, we'll put, do you have this PowerPoint that I
Yeah, we
can
can
put
put
on?
the entire power, we'll give you the entire
Yeah.
power.
Yes.
You can just put it on the
I
website.
actually won't get my kid a basketball, so. That's fine. Okay, so it'll be available on the website, correct?
Yes,
Eventually?
Even with that,
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I was in an accident recently, he had to see the surgeon, and his office computers got hacked.
Got hacked.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Plus, you don't know who's coming in to clean the place either. So, I mean, that could be a good scam.
And, you know, you can always ask them, what security measures do they have in place to protect your personal information? They should be able to answer that question.
The big thing is to monitor your account, because even doctors farm out that information to accountants and everybody else that has access to it. So there's a lot of hands that that's gonna go through anyway. The biggest thing is just, like the chief said, keep an eye on your account, make sure that the minute something suspicious pops up, you notify the bank so that they can cut it off. There's not a whole lot of financial loss there. One big thing that I wanna bring up, a lot of people, you know, they'll come out to their car in the morning and there'll be like a, you know, they'll notice that somebody went through there, maybe rifled through their car, but didn't necessarily take anything. We've got a lot of people leaving wallets in their car. It's a really bad idea. Because they'll go through, write the numbers down, and then they're done. And you won't even know until 2-3 months later. And then you realize, oh yeah, I left my wallet in my car and they probably went through it. So if you ever have what we call criminal trespass to your car, please report that to the police department. It's very important to know. A lot of people don't because they don't see anything missing, or it's just change that's missing out of their car. Just report those things so we have documentation of it. That way we know, 2-3 months later, we'll have an idea of what's going on. Or we can tell you up front, if you left your wallet in your car, because we know a lot of people do it, cancel your credit cards. Stuff. We got people leaving keys in their cars, getting cars stolen all the time. Happens a lot. Some of this stuff doesn't sound like rocket science, but believe me, they're falling for this stuff every single day. I mean, Chief, we had a guy at lunch today, brought one of these scams up to us. He hadn't fallen for it, but they were actually actively pursuing him for it. So, I mean, this stuff happens all the time. We've got people that will send $40,000, $50,000 overseas, lose their life savings because of stuff like this. So,
what are your thoughts on like LifeLock, those companies that'll monitor your stuff for you? Do you think that's a good idea? Because I've heard like people that, someone, my husband's boss said that he did it and it got hacked like immediately after he did it.
and then
Now,
the insurance, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about? Like,
yeah, you know how they, right.
It's like buying insurance, I would guess. You know what I mean?
Nobody inspects your things better than you do.
Yeah,
So all you're doing is outsourcing something you should be doing yourself to a company and making yourself feel at ease that, oh, this company will never get hacked because all these commercials are,
right.
they're no more impervious than anybody else. I mean, I would think as a police department, the federal government, all these places that have all these different firewalls and all these different things in place to keep hackers from getting in, and hackers get in. There's really no protecting your things. They're just monitoring your things. And there's nobody better than yourself to do that. Those companies, they say they'll pay out, they say they'll do this, they say they'll do that. I don't know if they're worth anything or not, but you pay money for it, and it's something you could be doing yourself.
Okay. Thank you.
Here's kind of just a little review of what we kind of talked about today. These are just a sampling of the common internet scams and identity thefts that we run across. There are thousands more out there, and they're coming up with new ideas every day to try and defeat it. The best way to avoid being victimized is to stay informed. We're going to put up in another slide or two websites that you can go to. All of these websites will have something. If it looks too good to be true.com, FraudWatch International, even the Better Business Bureau has stuff. So, and then again, if it looks too good to be true, it's probably not true and it's a scam. So you definitely want to take caution in who you talk to, what information you provide to people.
Most of these sites are listed on the paperwork on the handouts.
I will say that almost all of us experience gut feelings during our lives about things. Your gut feelings are very rarely wrong. So if you have a gut feeling when you're reading something on the internet, somebody comes to your house, somebody calls you on the telephone, and it's not on the up and up, pretty good likelihood that it's not on the up and up. Because your gut feelings are based on all your experiences, things you don't even realize that you've experienced. Your tummy's telling you something's up. Give us a call. That's what we're there for. Whenever you have a gut feeling, we're going to come and investigate your gut feeling. Because, like I say, probably somewhere in the 90 percentile region, when any person has a gut feeling about something, it's pretty true. So use your instincts as your guide. The other thing I'm going to bring up, in addition to these scams, which are all electronically based somehow, we have the door-to-door springtime. Gypsies all come up from Florida, where they've enjoyed a nice winter, and they're going to come up and they're going to try to victimize people up here. And some of their more common scams are the resurfacing of your driveway, roofing, and last but not least, the water and/or electrical inspector. If they say they are there to inspect the water, electricity, or any other service, call the village, and you find out, first of all, if they're from the village, they're going to have an ID. If they refuse to show an ID, then don't ever let anybody in your house until you check with us first. And if we cannot verify something, there will be a police officer at your door. Don't let anybody in your house until that person is verified by a police officer. Because if they're on the up and up, they're not going to care that the police are being called. But if they're not on the up and up, they're going to run, they're going to leave, they're going to get in the car, they're going to fake they have a call, whatever, but they're going to get out. Many times when they have you at the front door, what happens is they say, I have to inspect your hot water, something like that. They get into your house, we're going to trim a tree, whatever. As you have somebody, you're chasing somebody through your own house now, they have 2 or 3 other people in that house going through the door right after you leave the door, and they're stealing whatever they can get their hands on. So it's not always electronic, it's not always by the telephone, it's not always by a text. They still enjoy the old challenge of a person-to-person winning. You know, they like to win, and that's how they look at it. And when they get caught, oftentimes they offer to pay the money back. If you think that anybody is not legit, you give us a call. If somebody's going door to door, doing driveways, you don't think they're legit, give us a call. They still have a solicitor's permit to do that. And if they're on the up and up, they're going to get one.
Just to touch on what the chief was saying also, another ploy that the travelers or the gypsies will use is to say, I noticed that, you know, you have this hole in your roof, or, you know, you have this bad patch out here, come out, I'll take you a look, or I'm doing work at your neighbor's house, I need to cut trees, could you show me where your property line is? So they get you out of the house, and while you're out, their buddies are going through your house. And it can be just a matter of a couple minutes. And they found what they're looking for. They'll probably be on a cell phone, oftentimes talking in a foreign language, and then they're gone. And you go back in the house, and holy cow, everything's gone. So don't go follow anybody out. Just pick up the phone and call us.
Excuse me for 1 second, I'm gonna turn the lights on, but you guys wanna cover your eyes real quick, because it's pretty bright real quick.
When I get my fishing license at Bass Pro, they insist on me giving them my social security. You know anything about that? Is that legit?
They're required by the
What would
state.
happen if I refuse?
It's probably the state required,
That's the
state required. But I'm not 100% on that, but that might be the Department of Conservation.
Sir?
I'm not 100% sure on that, but that may be a requirement from the Department of Conservation.
They say it's a state requirement.
Well, then it probably is, and that's the state, although it may be 20 years fine.
Ted, you know what I've done in that situation, because it's happened to me, all I've done is got my old fishing license,
Yeah.
and just handed it to them, and they just take that number right off, and that's it, they're
Well,
done.
I do give it to them, and they still insist.
They still insist?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's for the
I'm gonna refuse next time. See, I haven't got it.
I think what they do is for the unpaying fathers, you know, that they
Yeah.
research all the time. I think that's how they check whether you're up to date or child support payments and everything else.
Guy, you got something on fire?
Yeah, I want to throw something in real quick. It's off the subject of identity theft. The Drug Enforcement Agency has a drug take-back program. They do it a couple times during the year. We're going to be helping them out by hosting a drug take-back day, which is April 27th. There's a couple flyers here and on the website for Hainesville and I believe for Gray's Lake now. It's going to be April 27th. It's not this Saturday, it's the following Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to have an officer in a box out at this location as well as Gray's Lake Police Department, and any prescription drugs that you no longer use, or if your friends have them or laying around, you don't need them there, come and drop them off, no questions asked, drop them off with us and we'll go get them destroyed with the DEA. We're going to do this probably more than once this year, so if you miss this time, feel free to either call the Gray's Lake Police Department, look up on the website, and we'll probably post another date that we're going to do it.
Is that because they also don't want it all always thrown down the drain?
Yeah, flush them down the toilet, put them down the drain,
Yeah,
that's not a good idea
idea.
anymore.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
And they don't want to throw them in the garbage no more, that's anybody else to pick up, or they want to dispose of them the right way.
You know, people can get a lot of information off a prescription bottle also,
Right.
so be wary of that. Peel the labels off them, destroy the labels if you're throwing them out. Of course, there's still prescriptions left, I can bring it to this. There's also sites around where you can go drop them off all the time. We're having a special event where there are towns around here, I think Highland Park's one of them, where you can drop drugs off at any time in a box. But we will have a police officer out there, no questions asked. If you have prescriptions you want to get rid of, drive up, dump them in the box, and off you go.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out.